Welcome all of you for today's Bhagavad Gita reading session. Let us begin with prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Reading from Bhagavad Gita by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Chapter 14, entitled The Three Modes of Material Nature. Text 3. Mama yo nirmahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Synonyms: Mama, my; Yonihi, source of birth; Mahat, the total material existence; Brahma, supreme; Tasmin, in that; Garbham, pregnancy; Dadhami, create; Aham, I; Sambhavaha, possibility; Sarvabhutanam, of all living entities; Tataha, thereafter; Bhavati, becomes; Bharata, O son of Bharata. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Purport: This is an explanation of the world. Everything that takes place is due to the combination of Kshetra and Kshetrajna, the body and the spirit soul. This combination of material nature and the living entity is made possible by the Supreme God Himself. The Mahat Tattva is the total cause of the total cosmic manifestation. And because in the total substance of the material cause there are three modes of nature, it is sometimes called Brahman. The Supreme Personality impregnates that total substance, and thus innumerable universes become possible. This total material substance, called the Mahat Tattva, is described as Brahman in the Vedic literature. Tasmadetat Brahmanama Rupam Annam cha Jayate. Into that Brahman, the seeds of the living entities are impregnated by the Supreme Person. The 24 elements, beginning from earth, water, fire, air, are all material energy, called Mahabrahman, or the great Brahman, the material nature. As is explained in the seventh chapter, beyond this there is another superior nature, the living entity. In material nature, the superior nature is mixed by the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thereafter all living entities are born of this material nature. The scorpion lays its eggs in piles of rice, and sometimes it is said that the scorpion is born out of rice. But the rice is not the cause of the scorpion. Actually, the eggs were laid by the mother. Similarly, material nature is not the cause of the birth of the living entities. The seed is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they only seem to come out as products of material nature. Thus, every living entity, according to his past activities, has a different body created by this material nature, and the entity can enjoy or suffer according to his past deeds. The Lord is the cause of all the manifestations of living entities in this material world. Text 4. Sarvayonishu kaunteya murtayah sambhavanti yaha tasam brahma mahadyoner aham bija pradah pita. Synonyms. Sarvayonishu, in all species of life. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Murtayaha, forms. Sambhavanti, as they appear. Yaha, which. Tasam, all of them. Brahma, supreme. Mahat Yonihi, the source of birth in the material substance. Aham, myself. Bija Pradaha, seed giving. Pita, father. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed giving father. Purport. In this verse, it is clearly explained that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original father of all living entities. The living entities are combinations of the material nature and the spiritual nature. Such living entities are seen not only on this planet, but in every planet, even in the highest, where Brahma is situated. Everywhere there are living entities. Within the earth there are living entities, even within water and within fire. All these appearances are due to the mother, material nature, and Krishna's seed giving process. The purport is that the living entities, being impregnated in the material world, come out and form at the time of creation, according to their past deeds. Text 5. सत्त्वं रजस्तम इति गुणा प्रकृतिसम्भवाः निबध्नन्ति महाबाहो देहे देहिनमव्ययम्. Synonyms. Sattvam, mode of goodness. Rajaha, mode of passion. Tamaha, mode of ignorance. Iti, thus. Gunaha, qualities. Prakriti, material nature. Sambhavaha, produced of. Nibadhanti, does condition. Mahabaho, O mighty armed one. Dehe, in this body. Dehinam, the living entity. Avyayam, eternal. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Material nature consists of the three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the living entity comes in contact with nature, he becomes conditioned by these modes. Purport. The living entity, because he is transcendental, has nothing to do with this material nature. Still, because he has become conditioned by the material world, he is acting under the spell of the three modes of material nature. Because living entities have different kinds of bodies, in terms of the different aspects of nature, they are induced to act according to that nature. This is the cause of the varieties of happiness and distress. Text 6. तत्र सत्त्वं निर्मलत्वात् प्रकाशकमनामयम् सुखसङ्गेन बध्नाति ज्ञानसङ्गेन च नघ. Synonyms. Tatra, thereafter. Sattvam, mode of goodness. Nirmalatvat, being purest in the material world. Prakashakam, illuminating. Anamayam, without any sinful reaction. Sukha, happiness. Sangena, association. Badhnati, conditions. Jnana, knowledge. Sangena, association. Cha, also. Anagha, O sinless one. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode develop knowledge, but they become conditioned by the concept of happiness. Purport: the living entities conditioned by material nature are of various types. One is happy, another is very active, and another is helpless. All these types of psychological manifestations are causes of the entity's conditioned status in nature. How they are differently conditioned is explained in this section of Bhagavad Gita. The mode of goodness is first considered. The effect of developing the mode of goodness in the material world is that one becomes wiser than those otherwise conditioned. A man in the mode of goodness is not so much affected by material miseries, and he has a sense of advancement in material knowledge. The representative type is the Brahmana, who is supposed to be situated in the mode of goodness. This sense of happiness is due to understanding that in the mode of goodness one is more or less free from sinful reactions. Actually, in the Vedic literature, it is said that the mode of goodness means greater knowledge and a greater sense of happiness. The difficulty here is that when a living entity is situated in the mode of goodness, he becomes conditioned to feel that he is advanced in knowledge and is better than others. In this way, he becomes conditioned. The best examples are the scientist and philosopher. Each is very proud of his knowledge, and because they generally improve their material conditions, they feel a sort of material happiness. This sense of advanced happiness in conditioned life makes them bound by the mode of goodness of material nature. As such, they are attracted toward working in the mode of goodness, and as long as they have an attraction for working in that way, they have it they have to take some type of body in the material modes of nature. Thus, there is no likelihood of liberation or of being transferred to the spiritual world. Repeatedly, one may become a philosopher, a scientist, or a poet, and repeatedly become entangled in the same disadvantages of birth and death. But due to the illusion of the material energy, one thinks that that sort of life is pleasant. Text 7. रजोरागात्मकं विद्धि तृष्णासङ्गसमुद्भवम् तन्निबध्नाति कौन्तेय कर्मसङ्गेन देहिनम्. Synonyms: Rajaha, mode of passion; Raga Atmakam, born of desire or lust; Vidhi, know; Trishna, hankering; Sangha, association; Samudbhavam, produced of; Tat, that; Nibadhnati, is bound; Kaunteya, O son of Kunti; Karma Sangena, association with fruitive activity; Dehinam, of the embodied. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: the mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this, one is bound to material fruitive activities. Purport: the mode of passion is characterized by the attraction between man and woman. Woman has attraction for man, and man has attraction for woman. This is called the mode of passion. And when the mode of passion is increased, one develops the hankering for material enjoyment. He wants to enjoy sense gratification. For sense gratification, A man in the mode of passion wants some honor in society or in the nation, and he wants to have a happy family with nice children, wife, and house. These are the products of the mode of passion. As long as one is hankering after these things, he has to work very hard. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that he becomes associated with the fruits of his activities and thus becomes bound by such activities. In order to please his wife, children, and society, and to keep up his prestige, one has to work. Therefore, the whole material world is more or less in the mode of passion. Modern civilization is considered to be advanced in the standards of the mode of passion. Formerly, the advanced condition was considered to be in the mode of goodness. If there is no liberation for those in the mode of goodness, what of those who are entangled in the mode of passion? Text 8. तमसस्त्वज्ञानजं विद्धि मोहनं सर्वदेहिनां प्रमादालस्य निद्राभिस्तन्निबध्नाति भारत. Synonyms: Tamaha, mode of ignorance; Tu, but; Ajnanajam, products of ignorance; Vidhi, knowing; Mohanam, delusion; Sarvadehinam, of all embodied beings; Pramada, madness; Alasya, indolence; Nidrabhihi, sleep; Tat, that; Nibadhnati, binds; Bharata, O son of Bharata. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: O son of Bharata, the mode of ignorance causes the delusion of all living entities. The result of this mode is madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. Purport: In this verse, the specific application of the word tu is very significant. This means that the mode of ignorance is a very peculiar qualification of the embodied soul. This mode of ignorance is just the opposite of the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, by development of knowledge, one can understand what is what, but the mode of ignorance is just the opposite. Everyone under the spell of the mode of ignorance becomes mad, and a mad man cannot understand what is what. Instead of making advancement, one becomes degraded. The definition of the mode of ignorance is stated in the Vedic literature. Under the spell of ignorance, one cannot understand the thing as it is. For example, everyone can see that his grandfather has died, and therefore he will also die. Man is mortal. The children that he conceives will also die. So death is sure. Still, people are madly accumulating money and working very hard all day and night, not caring for the eternal spirit. This is madness. In their madness, they are very reluctant to make advancement in spiritual understanding. Such people are very lazy. When they are invited to associate for spiritual understanding, they are not much interested. They are not even active like the man who is controlled by the mode of passion. Thus, another symptom of one embedded in the mode of ignorance is that he sleeps more than is required. 6 hours of sleep is sufficient, but a man in the mode of ignorance sleeps at least 10 or 12 hours a day. Such a man appears to be always dejected and is addicted to intoxicants and sleeping. These are the symptoms of a person conditioned by the mode of ignorance. Text 9. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajah karmani bharata jnanamavritya tu tamaha pramade sanjayatyuta. Synonyms: Sattvam, mode of goodness; Sukhe in happiness. Sanjayati develops. Rajaha mode of passion. Karmani fruits of activities. Bharata, O son of Bharata. Jnanam knowledge. Avritya covering. Tu but. Tamaha the mode of ignorance. Pramade in madness. Sanjayati develops. Uta it is said. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The mode of goodness conditions one to happiness. Passion conditions him to the fruits of action, and ignorance to madness. Purport. A person in the mode of goodness is satisfied by his work or intellectual pursuit, just as a philosopher, scientist, or educator may be engaged in a particular field of knowledge and may be satisfied in that way. A man in the modes of passion and goodness may be engaged in fruitive activity. He owns as much as he can and spends for good causes. Sometimes he tries to open hospitals, give to charity institutions, etc. These are the signs of one in the mode of passion. And the mode of ignorance covers knowledge. In the mode of ignorance, whatever one does is neither good for him nor for anyone. Text 10. रजस्तमश्चाभिभूय सत्वं भवति भारत रजसत्वं तमश्चैव तमस्सत्वं रजस्तथा. Synonyms. Rajaha mode of passion, tamaha mode of ignorance, cha also, abhibhuya also surpassing, sattvam mode of goodness, bhavati becomes prominent, bharata O son of Bharata, rajaha mode of passion, sattvam mode of goodness, tamaha mode of ignorance, cha also, eva like that, tamaha mode of ignorance, sattvam mode of goodness, rajaha mode of passion, tatha as in this. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Sometimes the mode of passion becomes prominent, defeating the mode of goodness, O son of Bharata, and sometimes the mode of goodness defeats passion, and at other times the mode of ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. Purport. When the mode of passion is prominent, the modes of goodness and ignorance are defeated. When the mode of goodness is prominent, passion and ignorance are defeated. And when the mode of ignorance is prominent, passion and goodness are defeated. This competition is always going on. Therefore, one who is actually intent on advancing in Krishna consciousness has to transcend these three modes. The prominence of some certain mode of nature is manifested in one's dealings, in his activities, in eating, etc. All this will be explained in later chapters. But if one wants, he can develop by practice the mode of goodness and thus defeat the modes of ignorance and passion. One can similarly develop the mode of passion and defeat goodness and ignorance, or one can develop the mode of ignorance and defeat goodness and passion. Although there are these three modes of material nature, if one is determined, he can be blessed by the mode of goodness, and by transcending the mode of goodness, he can be situated in pure goodness, which is called the Vasudeva state, a state in which one can understand the signs of God. By the manifestation of particular activities, it can be understood in what mode of nature one is situated. Text 11. सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानं यदा तदा विद्याद् विवृद्धं सत्यमित्युत. Synonyms: Sarvadvareshu, all the gates, Dehe asmin, in this body, Prakashaha, quality of illumination, Upajayate, develops, Jnanam, knowledge, Yada, when, Tada, at that time, Vidyat, must know, Vivruddham, increased, Sattvam, mode of goodness, Iti, thus, Uta, said. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: The manifestations of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. Purport: There are 9 gates in the body: 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, the mouth, the genital, and the anus. In every gate, when the symptom of goodness is illuminated, it should be understood that one has developed the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, in the mode of goodness, one can see things in the right position, one can hear things in the right position, and one can taste things in the right position. One becomes cleansed inside and outside. In every gate, there is development of the symptoms of happiness, and that is the position of goodness. Text 12. Lobha pravrittirarambha karmanam ashamaspruha rajasyetani jayante vivruddhe bharatarshabha. Synonyms: Lobha, greed; pravrittihi, hankering; arambha, endeavor; karmanam, of activities; ashamaha, uncontrollable; spruha, desire; rajasi, in the mode of passion; etani, all this; jayante, develop; vivruddhe, when there is excess; bharatarshabha, O chief of the descendants of Bharata. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, uncontrollable desire, hankering, and intense endeavor develop. Purport: One in the mode of passion is never satisfied with the position he has already acquired. He hankers to increase his position. If he wants to construct a residential house, he tries his best to have a palatial house, as if he would be able to reside in that house eternally. And he develops a great hankering for sense gratification. There is no end to sense gratification. He always wants to remain with his family and in his house and to continue the process of sense gratification. There is no cessation of this. All these symptoms should be understood as characteristic of the mode of passion. Text 13. Aprakasho pravrittischa pramado moha eva cha tamasyetani jayante vivruddhe kurunandana. Synonyms: Aprakashaha, darkness; Apravrittihi, inactivity; Cha, and; Pramadaha, madness; Mohaha, illusion; Eva, certainly; Cha, also; Tamasi, of the mode of ignorance; Etani, these; Jayante, are manifested; Vivruddhe, is developed; Kurunandana, O son of Kuru. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: O son of Kuru, When there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, madness, illusion, inertia, and darkness are manifested. Purport. When there is no illumination, knowledge is absent. One in the mode of ignorance does not work by a regulative principle. He wants to act whimsically for no purpose. Even though he has the capacity to work, he makes no endeavor. This is called illusion. Although consciousness is going on, life is inactive. These are the symptoms of one in the mode of ignorance. We shall continue to read in the next session. I wish each one of you a very happy Krishna conscious Vijayadashami, just like Lord Ramachandra defeated and killed the 10-headed demon Ravana. Let us also pray to the Lord that we always remain Krishna conscious and we always chant the holy names of the Lord, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which can destroy all the evil demoniac forces within us. So, happy Krishna conscious Vijay Dashami to all of you. We shall meet again in the next session. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.